Hi guys! Oh my goodness. I can't even begin to tell you how excited I am to be back. It's been a time. We had two sick kids. Work has been crazy. Nothing I'm sure most of you have, or not nothing I'm sure. Most of which I'm sure you all have been through time and time again, just like we have. But all of a sudden I looked at the date and realized, well, I have not filmed and I am not being a good friend. So here we are. We are back. This is the second pay period in May. I made the executive decision to stop the weekly because it was just too nuts. I was not, truthfully, I don't know why it overwhelmed me as much as it did. I have a lot on my plate right now, so I'm thinking it was just one more thing and I just couldn't deal. So, we're going back to the bi-weekly. And in all honesty, that was going to go back come July anyway, or I'm sorry, June. So I cut it short by a couple weeks because I just couldn't take it. So this is for the paychecks that we are getting on the 15th and the 20th. Now that'll take us through to the end of the month. And then I will get paid again the last day of the month. So, and that'll go towards June. All right. So, okay, I am budgeting. Oh, let me bring you in here. I know it drives me crazy when I can't see, so hopefully you guys can see. All right, I'm going to go ahead and budget $2,800. And start with that. So right off the top, you've got the big boy, the Chase card on the 17th, and I'm thinking that should be $296 again. And then we have Hulu, and that is $5.99. We have Best Buy on the 18th for $30.37. And then we have Nicor on the 19th, and Nicor is our natural gas. Nicor on the 19th, and that should be, I think, 43. That's what it was last time, so we'll see. Wells Fargo on the 19th for $79. And then the Barclay card on the 28th, and that is $126. Okay, now if I added correctly, that should be $580, $36. Okay. So, and I have little notes off to the side where I already totaled things just to be a little quicker, and my phone's just about dead, so that calculator's not going to help. Okay, so we should have 22, 19, 64 left. Okay, now down to cash envelopes. Okay, so we're still doing cashless for cash envelopes, but I have a surprise for you after we're done with this part. Okay, let me see if I can get this light a little better. Hopefully it's not too dark. That's just gonna have to do. All right. Envelopes. We have medical, and that will be 100. Grocery, 400. Gas, 100. Oh, and I have a question. Oh, and it's not even in frame. I'm out of practice, y'all. I have a question for you guys. When it comes to groceries, when you budget it for the month or whatever you do. When I do an overall budget for the month, or I established one at the very beginning before I started breaking things down, and I came up with $800 a month, which I know sounds insane, but we put, laundry detergent, all the things in there, right? What do you guys do when there's an extra week in the month? I think sometimes that's where I'm having issues, because I'm not considering the fact that although we're having the same amount of pay periods, we're covering more time in between sometimes, if that makes sense. So let me know how you guys deal with that. I know that can be easier to deal with weekly, but maybe I need to just add a little bit more for those longer months. I don't know. We have to figure this out, guys. Okay, and then we have my husband, and that is 80. And this is just like personal money. Like, do whatever you want with it. I don't need to know about it money. And mine is 50. Household, also 50. Eating out, we have 80. Miscellaneous is 50. And then haircuts, I finally moved this out of sinking funds. Oh my god, we're still out of frame. You guys. Oh, you'll forgive me. Okay. And that's 27. So, if I did this correctly previously, this should total up to 937. So I'm going to trust my numbers from when it wasn't almost midnight, rather than running them again when it is almost midnight. Okay, now that should leave us with 1282.64. Okay, now, part of the excitement, you guys. We're going back to cash for sinking funds. I just miss it. But what I'm going to do is, instead of letting it build up so incredibly much, I have a certain number in mind that I'm going to let them all build up to, total. And once it reaches that point, I'm going to deposit it. And then we'll start over again, just so I don't have too much cash around, just in case. I just feel more comfortable doing it that way, but I'm still going to have all the totals. So you'll be able to follow along with how much is in there, even the part that's in the bank, because I still have it separated out, both in the account with a cool little account thing, and then also on paper too, just so we can keep it all straight. So, all right, 1282.64. All right, so here are the envelopes, and I'm really excited because this is the last time I'm going to have to fill the car stickers envelope until, I think, November. Because mine is first and then my husband's comes in December, and I usually just end up waiting till the end of the window for mine so I can buy them both at the same time. So we're going to go ahead and put 110 in that. Now this is more than I normally put in, but we're dropping another category because that's all done. So I'll kind of show you that here in a minute. So gifts, we're going to go ahead and put it in 100. House maintenance, we're going to go put in 100. Let's see, car maintenance. Car maintenance is also getting 100. Then we have clothing. And that is getting 50. Fun is getting 50. The kids are getting 50. Now, I have had some people ask, about the kids' sinking fund. It's honestly kind of a catch-all. What I mean by that is, if one of them, if we're out, when we go out ever, excuse me, when we actually go out, if they see a little something, if we're at like a craft store or, whatever, a little something set aside to where it doesn't affect the rest of the budget. Or you'll see when I do the envelopes with both my girls' birthdays being in the same week. We usually do a joint party, and we usually do that party on Mother's Day. That way we kind of combine Mother's Day, the birthdays. Everyone's going to be getting together for those anyway. So it's usually a bigger expense than just the birthdays would be or just Mother's Day would be. So this time I actually, instead of making all the food like I normally do, I went ahead and did a small version of catering. I don't know where all of you live, but I'm in Illinois, and Portillo's is a really big deal here for good reason. So it's like, Italian beefs, hot dogs, all the things. So what I did is I ordered a catering pack, if you will, that was cold. So I heated it up. They didn't deliver it. We picked it up, all the things. But I was like, I'll be damned if I'm making all this food on Mother's Day from scratch. Sorry, no. Not this year. So some of the kids' money was used for like little stuff they wanted for their niece and nephew so they could all play with outside and all that kind of stuff. And then some of the fund was used too, because in reality that fund had built up a decent amount, and with COVID there was no fun being had really outside of the house, so we kind of pulled from a couple because there's a little bit of overlap in some of these on purpose. So way longer explanation than you probably needed, but here we are. Okay, now here is the insurance, and this is usually monthly. I try to put in $125, but this is fully funded. So basically what I did is I took a portion of that and added it up here to car stickers. And then Christmas, we're going to go ahead and put in 100 like normal. And then pets, which you don't see often, but it is almost time for their annuals, and I'm going to have to order their flea and tick meds, and my God, the expensiveness of flea and tick meds, I truly don't understand. And I worked in the veterinary field. I was not a veterinarian, but I worked for vets. I worked in animal shelters, and no one could explain to me the cost of that stuff. It just is mind-blowing, honestly. Okay, so that total should be $760. And that would leave us with $522.64. Okay, and if any of you are new, you may be confused why, when I have obvious debts, that I'm not putting, or I won't be putting this towards that. That is because we are putting every last cent into savings. I have a baby that is due first week in November. So we're putting everything aside. Everything. That way we can get everything we need. We don't need a ton of stuff. But I'd like to be able to just kind of do one big let's get all the things and be done with it kind of trip. And then what will most likely happen is we will have saved more than we would possibly need. And, God willing, if everything goes well. And at that point, once baby boy is here and we're both doing well, everything's fine, then I will take a good amount of that and either split it between debts, put it all towards one. We're kind of still figuring out that part, but that's the plan. I just want to have it there, and if we don't need it, great. But I want to have it there in case we do. So, and for that reason too, even though this fund is not very large, and I know we'll probably need more than that for the flea and tick meds especially, it's okay. We'll have a ton in savings, well, a ton to us in savings to pull from a little bit if we need to. So, okay, 522.64, so we're going to go ahead and just put this down here into saving. And that is the plan. Okay, now I'm so excited. Guys, I honestly just missed stuffing envelopes so bad. That is one of my favorite things to watch on other people's channels, so I can't deny y'all either. Oh, and I had some questions about this as well. This is actually, let me zoom out here. This is actually a big size happy planner. This one came with the rainbow rings, which I am obsessed with because, oh my god. It's so funny. I dress mostly all in black. I was definitely the goth/metal kid in high school. I mean, I still am at heart, but there is just something about rainbows and bright, like nothing about my style sense or lack of style makes sense. We'll just put it that way. But, so that's what this one actually is. So this all came together, and I want to say, let me see if I can, okay, so this was 2019. This was a 2019 planner. And I have seen sometimes, like on sites like Mercari and things like that, I've seen people selling the set of rings, the rainbow rings for the big size. Obviously, you could just get the size, get the rings for the big size and only use some of them for the smaller, 7x9, etc. But yeah, so that is what this is. And I am a big planner recycler, so that's what we're using. Okay, we're gonna set this aside. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm so excited to do this again. It's the little things. Okay, so we are stuffing 760 today. So I'm going to go ahead. Sorry if you hear what sounds like bombs going off outside. I have really excitable neighbors who like to set off fireworks and or mortars at all hours of the day. Because Illinois, I don't know what it is. It's like a sickness here. So, okay, we're going to go ahead and stuff the car stickers. So we're doing 110. And I went ahead and double checked all the balances in the bank. Like I have them separated out so that when I add to these, what you're going to be seeing is the actual balance. The total balance, not what's physically in this envelope, because honestly, it's obvious. Okay. Oh my god, the glare, you guys. I am so sorry. Let's see here. There. Nope. Just kidding. Okay, we're just going to work with it. Hold on. Not ad placement, just a lotion bottle. Okay. So, car stickers. We are adding 110. They gave me the crispiest hundreds I have ever seen, and I'm terrified I'm gonna not get one peeled apart. Okay, 110, 110, and that will give us What is today? Yeah, we're just going to put 17th. Sure, that sounds right. Okay, 110, and that should bring us to 300. And I'm so excited to have that envelope done. Now, I know some people would probably keep adding to it. Since we have, when we pay this off, it's November, December, so we'll have an entire year for $300. So honestly, I'm not worried about not doing that right now. I want to try and throw that 30 into other sections that we might need to catch up on sooner. And actually, I'm just thinking about it now. I just got an email from her school, from my oldest from high school, that the registration fees will be posted come July. So, God only knows how much that'll be, but we'll cross that bridge when it comes to it. Okay, gifts. This is also getting 100. Okay, like a little ASMR for you. Okay, gifts. So gifts currently has 0. And that's okay. It meant we had good gifts and good times. That's how I'm going to look at it. And gifts was one of those envelopes that was a bit late to the party. So I'm actually, I didn't even put the total. Well, I don't need to put the total. Come on, Caitlin. This was a late to the party envelope. So I'm actually really proud that we had, what do we have? 371 in there when we did. That was, say what you will about the envelopes or the system. But honestly, the little rewards of seeing just little accomplishments. Are we paying off thousands of debt? No, we're not. But you know what? I had enough to get the girls gifts. My mom, my mother-in-law, who's just my mom, my sister-in-law, just being able to do all that without kind of holding my breath when I swiped the debit was fantastic. So let that be motivation. Okay, house maintenance, also getting 100. Okay. So we currently have 170. So now we will have 270. And that is good. There's a few things we need to do. When we did this house, we built our house with Habitat for Humanity. And so, car maintenance 100. Obviously everything, all the materials were either donated, 448 total, sorry, were either donated materials, materials from the Habitat Restore, which if you have a Habitat Restore in your area, I highly recommend going to it. It's Habitat for Humanity Restore, so R-E-S-T-O-R-E. If you need, say you need a vanity, check there first. Say you need to tile a really small area, check there first. But one of the issues we're having is the paint that was used. I don't know what paint it was, but flat paint was used in a lot of areas where it shouldn't have been. And so we're kind of dealing with the repercussions of that. Like the baseboards are horrific. If you go to scrub them at all, the paint just comes off. So I have a feeling house maintenance is, over the course of this year, going to go heavily into paint, which is okay, but just wanted to throw that out there. Okay, clothing. We are doing 50. So that is now $175 total, which is wonderful. And my mom was so sweet. On Mother's Day, she gave me money with the explicit instructions of this is for you and you only, to go get maternity clothes. So that amount is not included in here, even though I have a feeling some of it will wind up in there. If you're a mom, you know. Or dad. Or an amazing family friend. Whatever. Okay, fun. $50 is going into that. How rude. Bent corner. Okay. $50. So we will now have 100, which is super exciting. Okay. Kids, 50. And I believe, oh no, I do have some in there. So this is now 83.67. Super random amount. Insurance we're skipping. Now these two I don't have trackers for, but I have the totals that's already in the bank written down, so I can at least share that with you. So Christmas with my gnome, 100. And then pets is also getting 100. So pets already had 200 in it, so that's now 300. And Christmas had 450 in it, and that's now 550. So very exciting. Okay, my camera's about to run out of battery. Oh my gosh. So glad to be stuffing envelopes again. You guys, I missed it so much. It's the little things. So I hope your budgets are going well. If you have any questions, leave them below. I just found a super secret spot in YouTube on the creator side where I can see a whole bunch of comments I couldn't see before. So I am so sorry if you have left a comment and I have not responded, or you asked a question. Now that I know where to look, yeah, I'll be better. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope your budgets are going well. If they're not, take a deep breath. This week or this pay period or this month or this couple months does not define you as a person. We all get through it. So, I'll see you next time. Have a good night.